In a world that often celebrates the loudest voice, the flashiest image, and the most fleeting trends, there exists a kind of woman who moves differently. A woman whose presence feels rare, not because she is trying to be seen, but because she is deeply rooted in who she is. She doesn't chase attention, it naturally follows her. She doesn't scream her worth. It speaks for itself in every choice she makes, in every room she enters, in every silence she holds. The rarity of a woman is not measured by how many people admire her, but by how few truly understand her. She is the calm in a chaotic world, the depth in a sea of surface, the strength wrapped in the softness of grace. She's not easily impressed, not easily shaken, and certainly not easily replaced. Today, we're not talking about perfection. We're not talking about appearance, wealth, or status. We're talking about character, about the invisible, powerful qualities that set a rare woman apart. The kind of woman who does not just walk through life, but shapes it quietly and profoundly. If you have ever met such a woman, you know it. If you are becoming one, you feel it. And if you aspire to be one, know that rarity is not something you are born with. It is something you cultivate, protect, and choose every single day. Let's begin. 1. She moves with quiet confidence. In a world that often mistakes noise for influence and performance for power, a rare woman embodies a different kind of strength. One that moves silently, steadily, and with profound impact. She doesn't announce her worth to the world with grand declarations or exaggerated gestures. She carries it inside her like a hidden fire that doesn't need to blaze outward to be real. Her confidence is woven into the smallest details. The way she walks without hurry, the way she listens without rushing to respond, the way she stands, grounded, unshaken by the tides of fleeting trends or shifting opinions. She's not concerned with proving that she belongs. She knows she belongs wherever she chooses to stand. This rare kind of woman does not seek validation in likes, applause, or approval. She understands that chasing recognition only waters down true strength. Her victories are often private, her growth unseen by the masses. And yet it is real, solid as stone, soft as velvet. She chooses her words thoughtfully, not to impress, but to communicate with honesty. She doesn't dominate conversations to be heard because she knows real power does not need to shout. Instead, her voice carries weight because it rises from a place of authenticity, not performance. What sets her apart is not a lack of fear. She, too, feels uncertainty at times, but she does not let fear steer her. She has learned to move forward even with trembling hands, even with a racing heart. And that quiet bravery is a force more potent than all the loud confidence in the world. A rare woman understands that true confidence is not situational. It is not built on a title, a relationship, a paycheck, or a spotlight. It's built on knowing that even if she lost everything tomorrow, her value would remain untouched. Her worth is inherent, not assigned. And perhaps most beautiful of all, she does not need to compete with others to prove her light. She celebrates others without feeling dimmed, because she knows that real confidence is abundant, not scarce. She walks her path without needing others to stumble for her to feel tall. In her presence, you don't feel dominated, you feel anchored. You feel that you're in the company of someone who is not seeking a role in a drama, but living her life with purpose, authenticity, and an unshakable sense of self. 2. She values depth over distraction. In a world where the surface is glorified and the shallow is celebrated, a rare woman digs much deeper. While most are content to skim the surface of social media feeds and fleeting conversations, she craves authentic connection, one that reaches far beyond the banal chatter of everyday small talk. Her interactions are not measured by the number of likes or shares they receive. Instead, she seeks those profound moments when hearts meet and minds truly connect. She chooses to invest her time in quality over quantity, understanding that every moment spent in mindless distraction is a moment lost. Instead of scrolling endlessly through endless streams of images and sound bites, she leans into the silence between the noise, where real thoughts form and genuine wisdom can emerge. In that still space, she cultivates a life of substance, where every conversation is an opportunity to learn, and every experience a chance to grow. Her days are punctuated not by a barrage of superficial encounters, but by deliberate moments of reflection, whether she's reading a book that challenges her perspective or engaging in a conversation that delves into the heart of life's mysteries. She gravitates toward what enriches her inner world. She is not swayed by trends or the fleeting allure of novelty. She knows that true value lies in depth. This pursuit of depth extends to her passions and beliefs. She is not interested in being a mere echo of popular opinion. Instead, she dares to question, to explore, and to form her own opinions, even when they might set her apart from the crowd. It is a kind of courage that comes from knowing who she is, a steadfast commitment to remain authentic in every moment. In her presence, you can feel the quiet hum of wisdom, the subtle richness of a mind that dares to seek the profound in a world obsessed with the trivial. Because for her, every moment counts, every experience, every connection is an opportunity to add another layer of meaning to her life, and that is what makes her rare. A woman who chooses depth over distraction, substance over surface, and in doing so, inspires everyone around her to look a little deeper, think a little harder, and live a little more meaningfully. 3. She embraces vulnerability without losing her strength. In a world that often equates vulnerability with weakness, a rare woman knows better. She understands that true strength is not found in walls built high and thick, but in the courage to be seen fully, flaws and all. She does not armor herself in pretense or hide behind masks of perfection. Instead, she stands openly, knowing that her worth is not diminished by her wounds, but deepened by them. Vulnerability, for her, is not an accident. It is a conscious choice, a choice to live authentically, even when it means exposing her heart to the possibility of hurt. She shares her fears, her doubts, her hopes, not because she's fragile, but because she knows that real connection can only exist when we are brave enough to be real. Her honesty is not reckless. It is deliberate, measured, and full of grace. Yet make no mistake, she is not naive. She does not hand her heart to just anyone. Her openness is not an invitation to be exploited. It is an offering to those who have earned the right to witness her true self. She knows when to be soft and when to be firm, when to extend trust and when to pull back. Her vulnerability is balanced by wisdom, her sensitivity by discernment. It is this rare balance that gives her a magnetic presence. You feel safer around her, not because she promises that life will be free of pain, but because she shows you by her example that pain is survivable, that even after the storm it's possible to stand, to smile, to love again. She teaches simply by being that resilience is not about never falling, it's about rising again and again with a heart that remains open to the beauty of life. She knows that the strength to endure does not come from pretending to be unbreakable. It comes from embracing every break, every scar, as a testament to her humanity. In doing so, she becomes not just someone who survives, but someone who thrives and who encourages others to do the same. Her vulnerability is not her weakness, it is her crown, and it shines with a rare, incomparable light. 4. She prioritizes inner peace over outer approval. A rare woman does not build her life around the applause of others. She has learned, often through painful experiences, that the opinions of the crowd are fleeting, that today's praise can become tomorrow's criticism. She knows that if she places her happiness in the hands of others, she will forever be at the mercy of forces she cannot control. So she chooses differently. She prioritizes her inner peace. She listens first to the quiet wisdom within, rather than the noisy demands from outside. Her self-worth is not a performance. It's not something she negotiates or bargains for. It is rooted deeply, quietly, in the core of who she knows herself to be. Because of this, she moves through life with a steadiness that is rare and powerful. She doesn't rush to defend herself against every misunderstanding. She doesn't scramble to be liked or to fit into spaces that require her to shrink. She knows her value isn't up for debate. This doesn't mean she's indifferent to others. It means she is discerning. She values authentic connection over superficial approval. She listens with empathy but acts with independence. She respects others' perspectives without allowing them to override her own truth. When faced with criticism, she does not crumble. She examines it. Is there something to learn? If yes, she adjusts with grace. If not, she releases it without resentment. Her peace is not fragile because it does not depend on perfection or universal acceptance. It depends on integrity, on living in alignment with her deepest values. There's a profound freedom in living this way. A rare woman knows that real fulfillment doesn't come from being celebrated by the world. It comes from celebrating the quiet victories within herself, the moments when she chose honesty over convenience, growth over comfort, peace over approval. And because she radiates that calm independence, others are drawn to her, not because she tries to impress them, but because true confidence, true serenity is magnetic. She teaches simply by example that the greatest achievement is not to be seen by the world, but to be at peace with oneself. Fifth, she embodies both strength and gentleness. A rare woman understands a powerful truth that many overlook. True strength does not require the absence of tenderness. She knows that vulnerability is not a weakness to hide, but a bridge to deeper connection, to authenticity, to a life lived fully awake. Her strength is not the hardened kind that builds walls or refuses to feel. It's the kind that allows her to remain open even when life hurts, to love fully even after betrayal, to speak kindly even when she could easily be bitter. She knows the world often mistakes harshness for power, but she has no interest in playing that game. Her gentleness is intentional, not accidental. It's a conscious choice. It comes from understanding that kindness is not weakness, and forgiveness is not surrender. It is the ultimate reclaiming of her own peace. She can stand firm without raising her voice. She can say no without cruelty. She can protect her boundaries without losing her warmth. At the same time, her strength is undeniable. She endures what would break many. She carries responsibilities, navigates heartbreaks, faces challenges with a quiet courage that doesn't need to be announced to be real. She doesn't collapse under pressure. She bends, she breathes, and she rises stronger. This balance, this rare marriage of softness and resilience, is what makes her presence so unforgettable. In her company, others feel seen without judgment, heard without interruption, valued without condition. She doesn't overpower others to prove her worth. She doesn't shy away from discomfort to maintain appearances. She knows there's a time to lead and a time to listen, a time to fight and a time to heal. Her wisdom lies in knowing the difference and moving gracefully between the two. The world may expect a woman to be either strong or gentle. A rare woman refuses to choose. She is both, and it is precisely this integration that makes her rare, radiant, and unforgettable. 6. She values depth over appearance. A rare woman is not content with living at the surface of life. She isn't impressed by flashy things, hollow compliments, or temporary thrills. While many chase trends, validation, and appearances, she moves differently, always seeking what is real, what is lasting, what is true. For her, depth is the ultimate currency. She values meaningful conversations over small talk. She values character over charm. She values connection over convenience. In a world obsessed with appearances, she chooses substance. While she may appreciate beauty, she knows that true beauty shines from within, from a mind that thinks deeply, from a heart that feels fearlessly, from a soul that seeks meaning over popularity. She doesn't waste time trying to impress people who only see with their eyes. She's too focused on building a life that feels right instead of one that just looks right. She would rather be alone than surrounded by shallow company. She would rather spend a lifetime chasing truth than a moment chasing approval. She knows that what is seen fades, but what is felt deeply, what is lived authentically, lasts. This valuing of depth transforms everything she touches. Her relationships are built on trust, not appearances. Her work is infused with purpose, not just ambition. Her life story is one of genuine growth, not carefully curated highlights. When you meet her, you sense it immediately. She listens, not to reply, but to understand. She speaks not to impress, but to express. She loves not to possess, but to uplift. And because she moves through life with such depth, she inspires others to go deeper too, to question more, to feel more, to live more truly. In a world that often rewards the surface, a rare woman chooses the ocean. And that choice, courageous, quiet, and unwavering, is what makes her extraordinary. Conclusion. In a world that often celebrates the loudest voices, the flashiest appearances, and the quickest validations, a rare woman stands apart, not because she shouts louder, but because she listens deeper. Not because she demands attention, but because her quiet strength commands respect. She is rare, not because she tries to be different, but because she dares to be fully herself in a world that constantly pushes conformity. Her authenticity, her strength, her grace, her depth, and her unwavering values make her shine in ways that no external spotlight ever could. The rare woman is not just admired, she is remembered. She leaves an imprint not on the surface of things, but deep within the hearts of those who are lucky enough to know her. She doesn't simply inspire through words. She teaches by how she lives, how she loves, how she stands. And perhaps the most powerful truth is this: rare women are not born rare, they become rare. Through their choices, through their resilience, through the battles they fight silently and the values they refuse to abandon. So if you are walking this path, if you are striving to be true in a world that rewards the opposite, know this: you are not invisible, you are not alone. And the world needs your kind of rare more than ever. Stay true, stay strong, stay rare. Thank you for being here today, and if you recognize the rare women around you or are becoming one yourself, share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay grounded, stay present, and never forget the extraordinary strength that lives within you.